Greetings, all. Welcome back to another episode of Messages from the Divine. It's day-oyabunmi. Welcome in. So, today we're channeling messages about generational curses and how we can overcome them. Of course, this is a general reading. So, if you're interested in a personal reading, check out my website, daydreamaustin.com, or check out the description box. Okay? All right, great. So, let's see what the Divine has to share with us about the generational curses that you're facing in this lifetime. And some of you know what they are. Some of you know what those curses are. So we see that for some of you, the generational curse is like this perspective and this energy of defeat. You sometimes feel like a victim and you feel like you've been victimized by life. That's not to diminish how you feel, right? To take away from what you've been through. But the Divine is saying that there's a tendency to have a victim mentality, to have this feeling that, you can't win no matter what. It's like, oh, I can't win no matter what. I'm always trying, and this is how I always end up with this Ten of Swords. This is all about perspective, though. The swords are thoughts and communications, right? In this case, we're going to say they're thoughts. Your thoughts are so harmful to you that they are essentially stabbing you in the back. They're causing you physical ailments and illness. You may even be, you may sometimes even consider, taking yourself away from the earth, harming yourself. So the Divine is saying that this is a generational curse. For those of you who struggle with this, if you look in your bloodline, you'll see that other people also struggle with mental health. They have a woe is me attitude. Everything is negative. Everything is fight. Everything is lack. Everything is poverty. Everything is, life is so hard. So that's the generational curse. Later on, we'll look at what we can do to overcome those generational curses. For some of you, you don't expect much out of life. Your generational curse is that you do not expect a lot out of life. For some of you, your generational curse is that you're too frugal. You hold on too tightly to everything for fear that it would slip away. And that comes from this mentality of not a victim mentality, poverty mentality, not having enough. So there's this fear of always, I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose this. Or something bad is going to happen to me. Victim mentality, not victim mentality, but victim mentality has come up. Generational curses. For some of you, and I don't know if you even see this as a generational curse, this is coming through to me as someone who prioritizes physical, sexual enjoyment over anything else. With the Page of Rods, there's like this incessant focus on the phallic symbol, on the penis, for the male or the female, it doesn't matter. This is in fact being stuck in that root chakra. It's like just seeking pleasure, no matter what it costs you. And this is a generational curse that's been passed down. It's like you're stuck in this energy of I just got the word fetishes. And fetish doesn't have to be something outside of just having an addiction to sexual activity, right? Like you're fetishizing sex itself, and that's a generational curse. And if you speak to other people in your family or look around, you might find other people in your family who have experienced this because it's like a generational issue passed down. For some of you, your generational curse is that you're because of this right here, because of this Ten of Swords, you are super defensive. You, again, do not expect good things to come your way. Or you've just saw so much in your life where it's kind of like you expect everyone and everything to be an enemy to you, to bring harm to you. And the Divine wants you to, find a way to shift out of this belief system, this thought system. For some of you, your generational curse is that you've been taught basically to be a criminal. For some of you, you grew up seeing people do things that put them at odds with the law, right? Like put them at odds with the authority, like that is police and things like that, just the law in general. That's your generational curse. Some of you have seen things or grew up in neighborhoods and where you've seen drug dealing and different practices as just a way of life, robbery. Like it's like, this is what I've seen, this is what I know, and this is what I'm going to do. But the divine is saying this is a generational curse. Anything that's not helpful to us that has been passed down through generations basically is a generational curse, right? And it doesn't even mean we consciously picked it up and said, oh, we want to do this. But just because people in the generation prior to you have done something doesn't mean it's good for you. For some of you, the generational curse is this tendency to self-sabotage. Like you will have, the divine will literally give you a gift. This gift can give you healing. This gift can bring you love, can bring you abundance, wealth, well-being, and a new fantastic start in your life. But you will find a way to F it up. That's a generational curse. If you look into your family's past, you'll see that this has been done again and again. And it's a way of thinking. It's a thought pattern with the Seven of Swords here. Generational curses. For some of you, I love how this man just fell off the wheel, honey. Somebody done fell off the wheel. For some of you, the generational curse is intoxication or intoxicants, alcoholism, being addicted to different substances, substance abuse with the Wheel of Fortune. For some of you, I'm getting this again, your generational curse is being, it's like you'll be on top of the world. You'll have everything and you will mess it up. Like something, you will sabotage yourself in some way. And that's a generational curse. This is not new. You know, this is not something that's new in your bloodline. This has been done again and again. Where it's kind of like throwing away the good in your life. A couple more cards for generational curse. Some of you have gifts of high intuition, mediumship, psychic abilities, but you don't pay them any mind. You push them down, or you use them for the wrong purposes. You use them to spy on people. Some of you may have natural witchcraft abilities, and you'll use that in the wrong way. And that's a generational curse. You'll notice that others, particularly women in your family, have had the power of prayer, have had the power of their mouth. What they say comes true, right? But then they'll use it the wrong way and say the wrong things, say really negative things, or knowingly use their gifts to harm others. Okay, before we go any further, I just wanted to let you know that if you are interested in a personal tarot reading, personal Ifa, or Ifa-Orisa reading, if you're interested in joining my Patreon where you get the first look at these videos and other exclusive content, ebooks, online trainings, please check out my website, daydreamaustin.com, or check out the description box below. Ashe! For some of you, your generational curse is like, I'm going to be honest, like when I'm picking up with this Queen of Rods, when the Queen of Rods is not in alignment with her highest self, she's a wicked, wicked woman with a nasty mouth and a nastier attitude. For some of you, that's a generational curse. This is not just for women. This can be men as well. There's a wickedness about some of you, and you know that. And it's come down from, you know, generation to generation. Like you picked it up. You may have picked it up knowingly or unknowingly. Some of you know about this, you know, are consciously aware of it, and you try to find ways to overcome this wickedness. Some of you just move with it, like you flow with it and you don't even care. But that's the generational curse. And one more. For some of you, the generational curse is issues in relationships and partnership with the with members of the opposite sex, same sex if that's what you're into. But there's just like some type of blockage, and the divine is showing me that it kind of has passed down from generation to generation. For some of you, you self-sabotage anytime you get close to a healthy connection. If you're, in a healthy connection, you have this feeling to go in a, like go away from it, or you do something to really mess it up. So that's a generational curse. For some of you, I'm getting that infidelity is a generational curse. Again, like there's something about not being able to settle. And it's like you're trying to fill something within yourself, or you've seen this so often that it's become like, oh, yeah, this is what this is what I'm going to do because I saw this before, like this is how it is. You're supposed to cheat. That's natural. That's normal. Let's look at some cards that'll tell us how to overcome these generational curses. Some of you need to like let the whole ship topple. Like your whole lives. This is horrible and I'm sorry, but the divine is saying for some of you, your whole life is a lie, or built on these very shady and weak foundations, right? Like these curses, like you've built up a whole life around this, and the divine is saying let that shit fall. Let it fall away. For some of you, the way you overcome this generational curse is to really work through things that have happened in the past, some of the patterns you picked up in the past. Work through what you've seen, what was mirrored to you as a child, because, people have to be realistic. What happens is when we're kids, we literally mimic what we saw, right? And so if you're mimicking what you see and what you see is not good, the way you overcome that is to acknowledge it and work through it. For some of you, the divine is saying in order to overcome these generational curses, not only do you need to face this, but gratitude can help you. Just taking a more positive outlook on life. For some of you, overcoming the generational curses means acting in love. There may be people that you need to apologize to, make amends with. And if you can't make physical amends with them, I remember telling a guy I dated one time, he did something horrible to someone before me. And he knew he couldn't speak to her, but I told him to send some messages to her spirit. If he truly wanted to apologize, he could send messages to her spirit saying, I'm sorry for what I did to you. And that's what it is here. It's like a love for self, an openness and complete acceptance for yourself and what you've been through. Some of you need to heal the inner child in order to overcome these generational blocks. But you may also need to send out some apologies to people, whether spiritually or physically. And if you know the person doesn't want to hear from you, send them spiritual apologies. Speak to their spirits, to their divine mind. Some of you, in order to clear out generational curses, just need to balance yourself, ground yourself, meditate, do healing activities. But most of all, this is about self-love and self-care, like really caring for yourself, taking care of yourself, honoring yourself, grounding again, balancing your emotion with your logic, just being a very balanced and moderate person. Taking a moderate approach to everything in life also helps you to overcome these generational curses. Like say you're the person who always thinks things are going to go bad. Start to balance that. Like sometimes shit will go bad, but sometimes things will go beautifully. Like start to work with your perspective. You see how they have these two cups? Like work with your perspective. For some of you, you can work with your angels, your divine guides, to support you in releasing these generational curses. Yeah. And that's it for today. If this has resonated with you, please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.